Hello, I'm Rico Cavella. I'm going to welcome you to this episode of the American Wellness Revolution. And we have a very exciting show for you today. When it's you definitely want to check it out. It's vitally important. We're going to talk about our toxic environment and how you can detox and protect yourself from all these toxic environmental toxins for better health. So I'm here with my co-host John Jew. Say hello, John.
Hello, everybody.
And we have our a good friend of mine and our expert guest, Isabelle Yang. Say hello, Isabelle.
Hello, everyone. I'm so happy to be here and talking about toxin. It may be a depressing subject, but there's a lot that we can do. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's the good news. That's first the bad news, but then we got some really good news for you as well. So, yeah, so this show is all about. We began just letting people know, how big the problem is, and I think most people know that we're one of the most unhealthiest countries in the world, and people are becoming old and sick and dying way too young. So this is all about informing people so you can be informed, so you know what's going on, and then what you can actually do to turn this around. And we want you to join our movement here to help, uh, turn this health crisis around. So John and I have teamed up and our expert guests and friends to help get the information out that can really make a big difference in your life. So we want you to know that it doesn't have to be your fate like most people are now, as they are becoming chronic ill and on all these medications and dying way too young. So, John, talk about, and also we have some really exciting news about the impact health sharing.
Yeah, thank you, Rico. I just wanted to welcome Isabel. And Isabel, we're very excited that you're here today and telling us about, you know, things that can really just be of great benefit to us and our health. So thank you for being
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. Thank you. That's one of my passions to talk about it. So, even though it's not like I said, it's kind of gloom and doom subject, but I'll try to make it exciting. Yeah.
All right. Just with that smile, you're going to do well. Thank you. Um, so, in addition, as you know, the cost of healthcare, and we basically call it like it is, sick care, because they want to keep us, continually not well. The cost is extremely high, and many people and businesses can't afford it. And many people do have healthcare insurance, and that is one of the root causes of our healthcare costs. So, we do have a solution on this. So please stay tuned, and we will tell you all about this exciting new way to receive an inexpensive new health sharing plan. Very, very key to our going forward with lowering our healthcare costs and making us healthier people. So that's what we're all about here today.
Yeah, and then, John, before we get going, if you'll read our mission statement here.
Yes, our mission is to empower Americans, especially elders 60 and over, to achieve optimal mental, physical, and financial health, enabling them to live longer, healthier lives while having the energy and vitality for making a bigger positive impact in the world.
All right, thank you for that. So, I want to introduce more our expert guest today, Isabelle Yang. She's a certified nutritional consultant who specializes in digestive health, cancer nutrition, detoxification, and blood sugar imbalances. She is passionate about empowering people to build the lifelong sustainable habits that support the inner healing power to live a healthy, vibrant life. And so she's going to give us some really good information, and she's got some valuable a gift for you as well. So stay to the end. So you guys, let's start by just mentioning. Well, there's such a big, huge list. So I don't know, we couldn't even go through all of it, but let's just try and go through some of the main things that we're all dealing with in our environment and in our food and all these things, and then we can make a little comment, especially you, Isabel, make a little comment you can say of what some quick and easy ways that we can uh, protect ourselves from that. So the first category here is some of the most well-known environmental toxins. Of course, heavy metals, right?
Yep.
That's a big one, isn't it?
Yeah, heavy
Isabel.
metal is a big one, but it would be the last one that you try to detoxify out of your system. But yes, heavy metal, especially mercury, if you do have amalgam filling, that is your biggest exposure to mercury. And even though, the mercury might have been in your mouth for 20 years ago, but it's still off gassing. So mercury is a big one, lead is a big one. It's in lipsticks, it's in your water, and also aluminum, right, in your cook pan. That's a very common in household products.
Yeah. And then, of course, pesticides is a big one. And of course, that's why you just really got to, if at all possible, buy organic fruits and vegetables that are not sprayed with pesticides. And of course, how about all these herbicides and fungicides and all these things like Roundup that people spray on their lawns?
They do, and sometimes involuntarily, right? People they're also spread in the park, on the trails, in our environment, and not necessarily you're involuntarily have to ingest or breathe it in. So they're kind of everywhere. And like Rico said, the best thing you can do is to eliminate as much as possible. Eating organic will help, and watch out for your water. That's a big one for me. It's like, what type of water are you drinking, and are you is there pesticide in your water? There's plastic. There are all kinds of chemicals. So drinking clean water is super important.
Yeah. And then there's a lot, there's so much these non-stick cookware that are out there that are, talk a little bit about that, that are really have that can leak really toxic gases and
They're
toxic.
called forever chemical.
Hmm.
Why is it called forever chemical? Because they stay in your body for a very, very long time, and they're invisible. You can't smell them. You don't smell them. You don't see them, but they are there, and they do get into your brain. They cause neurological damages. They impact your hormone balances, and they impact your liver. So your liver have to filter out all these toxins that you're exposed to. So these chemicals, not just they're on, like if you buy a new car, that new car smell is some, some of you might be thinking, oh, that smells really good, but that's just chemical. That's really not good. Because of fire, to protect from fire. And so they do put in a lot of chemicals just in the everyday thing that we're using.
Yeah, so cookware is a big one, you know. So if you're not using like stainless steel or steel, I mean, there are some new ceramic ones that claim to be pretty safe. Would you say that's true?
Ceramic, depending on, they still, you have to look at the company and research the company instead of the I don't have the name PDP, one of the chemicals, but they put on another chemical instead. So you have to really do your research. So stainless steel, like you said, or
Yeah,
titanium, they
yeah,
are the safest choice.
Got a
yeah.
question for you, Isabel. What we have in our bodies, like you said, the fillers, the tooth fillings that we have, the amalgam. What is that again? Amalgam.
Yeah, amalgam filling. They look like they're silvers. They don't practice, dentists now. They don't fill it with amalgam anymore. So now it's all. I don't know what the material is called, but it's not mercury anymore.
Right. And over time, because that's I, I have some pretty good habits, really good habits, in fact. But one of the habits I have is, daily I still have a couple of fillings like that. And you're saying get them removed and get
Yeah.
those things out of there because over time they still give off this gas.
They do. They do. Yeah. And when you decide when the time is right for you to remove them, make sure that you find a biological dentist who are very familiar with protecting you and also protecting themselves from, while removing amalgam. They do kind of dig up the dirt, right? Dig up more stuff. So you have to make sure that the person is very knowledgeable and have been doing it safely.
Right. And you
Well,
highly recommend a biological dentist.
Yes. And not all biological dentists are the same. As we know, not all doctors are same. Not everyone, even in the same profession, are the same. So you really need to do your research and ask them in details, like what are the process that you go through, and to protect me and to protect yourself from while you're working on removing the mercury.
Good.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you.
Thank you for that. Another big one is that even in our furniture and our building material, there's all these flame retardants and also there are toxics and other things. So here's also we have a little outline here that's for air pollution, you got to make sure you have good ventilation and you can use air filters inside your house, water filters as we mentioned, and if you can't find organic produce, you try to really wash it really well. And then also, Isabel, talk about all these spray things to clean your air. Those are toxic, aren't they? Yeah.
Yes, they're toxic. Yes. Air freshener. I haven't used air freshener for, I don't think I ever was a person that uses air freshener. So you can use essential oil and diffuse
Yeah.
essential oil and get that nice smell, and also mood lifting, and some essential oil helps with detox, helps with hormonal balance. So that's a much better choice. And we talked about, I just want to mention about water. So water is super important. Our body is 70, 60, 70% water, and we need water to hydrate, to it's to hydrate, to move the nutrient in and move toxin out. So what I've been recommending is it's distilled water. So I know a lot of people use also um, um,
Re-
uh,
Reverse
reverse
osmosis.
osmosis. Yes, reverse osmosis, which is good, you're filtering at some capacity, but the filter can, and the tank can also have mold growth. Think about it, it's water and air, so be very careful with that. And with the reverse osmosis, it's filtering out what it can filter out versus distilled water. It's pulling H2O out. So you're getting pure H2O. So water is like anytime I work with anybody, it's like you have to do distilled water. Otherwise, it's just that much harder to recover.
Yeah, distilled water is the purest, cleanest water that there
What do
is.
you think about these filters, commercial filters that, like Brita and those kind of places,
No,
things?
Brita doesn't. Just looking at the size, it's better than nothing. Of course, it's better than nothing, but it doesn't do the job. So I would say the next best thing is it is reverse osmosis. So reverse osmo, you just have to change your filter much more frequently than what the company tells you, what they advertise.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
it's good to know. Thank you. Any
And then
commercial brands that you can recommend of reverse osmosis out there?
Reverse osmosis. No, I just contact, even Costco sells them. They're pretty much the same
Okay,
for reverse osmosis.
okay,
thank you.
let's talk about all these toxins that are in our foods, all these highly processed chemicals. One thing I wanted to say back on air pollution, the best way to clean your air, to have fresh air, is just open up your windows and doors and let some fresh air in, right? That's the best thing. Okay, so let's go to food toxins. Let's talk a little bit about that. With things like nitrates and trans fatty acids and all that. Talk a little bit about that,
Yeah,
Isabel.
so basically, this is just to put it very simply, that eat things that you know what it is, right? Eat things that's not out of the package. It grows from the ground or on the tree. So if you're eating something from a package, you really got to read the ingredients. If you don't recognize the ingredient, your body won't recognize it, and that just means inflammation for your body. So from the food that we eat, if it's processed, like some of the deli meats, they have nitrate in the deli meats, and fat is really important for our brain health, for our overall hormonal health. But if we don't eat, if we have damaged fat, then it damages our artery and also causes inflammation. So damaged fat means a vegetable oil. So if you do cook with vegetable oil, they have to add in chemicals to make the oil look attractive, and they have to process it. So vegetable oil, be careful with that. And also, when you're cooking, if you're cooking at a very high temperature, depends on which oil. Avocado has a high smoke point of 500, so you can cook it at a high temperature, but olive oil is 350, 375. If you cook above that, then it becomes rancid, it becomes damaged, and that's not good for you. So be careful with oil. And so that one. And chemicals, there's no room. Like, why do we need chemicals in our food supply, right? And color, if you see any coloring in the package, then, and especially like cereals, right? Look at all these colorful cereals. They're not good. They're not good for our kids. It's you wonder why more and more kids are on the autism spectrum, more allergies, more mood issues. So that all have to do with the quality of our food. And like Rico, you mentioned the pesticide in our food, the chemicals, the additives, the coloring.
Isabel,
Yeah.
I have a quick question for you. Is lately, well, not lately, seed oils have gotten a bad rap, and I'm sure well deserved. Can you get into that a little bit more about what seed oils are about?
So I have heard about the two different, two the opposite sides. Yeah. So sea oil's got a bad rap that it causes inflammation. It's more omega 6, right? It has more omega 6 fatty acids. So, but if you balance it out, that you have enough omega 3 and then omega 6, then you can still stay in balance and get the benefit of both type of oil. The problem with sea oil, I think it's more with how it's processed, the how the manufacturer processed the sea oil. Are they adding chemicals into the sea oil? That's what makes it bad. So there are certain companies that are very aware of that, how they process their sea oil. They're very conscious about what they use to extract that oil out of the sea. So if it's processed properly and it's stored properly, it's not rancid, and you use it along with omega 3 and not overusing it. So everything is kind of like a Goldilocks rule, right? So if you don't overuse it and you use good quality, so that it's not something that's really bad for you.
Good, good. That's good to know. Yeah, I just wanted to interject this real quickly is that I have an organic popcorn business, and this isn't a commercial, but I did use uh, cold pressed grapeseed oil, high quality. It was really good. I found another oil. I found another oil that I could use. It's called algae oil. Are you familiar with algae oil?
Oh, no, I haven't heard of that. Okay. It sounds good. I like algae. Algae
Yeah.
is
And it's got a high
good for
smoke
you.
point, and it's got nutrients.
Mhm.
The omega threes are in there, and the nice thing about it is it's fairly new to the market, but it's and it's not the cheapest, of course, but at the same time, it's made with microalgae. It's processed in fermented tanks like they do with beer. So
Oh,
it's very
interesting. Yes.
100% microalgae is what they use.
Very good, John. Well, what I want to add is, you don't actually need, because it's really when you heat the oils that they become, not bioavailable in your body and can cause damage. You don't need oil to cook. You can cook with water. And what you do is, mostly you can cook things with water, and then you can add the oil on after that, where it's not heated, if you want to get the nutrients and the taste of the oil. So that's what I recommend. Yeah.
Rico, that's a
Yeah,
great
that's a
point.
good point.
Yeah,
Yeah. And
yeah.
steaming. So this is what I do. Thank you for saying that. Is that I do steam. I just use when I cook vegetables like broccoli or broccolini, cauliflower. I use a little bit of bone broth as the base so it doesn't burn. And then toward the end, when it's done, then I pour in. I actually add MCT oil,
Yeah.
and it actually brings out the flavor and also the color of the vegetable, and it tastes pretty good. So MCT oil is another one that can be
Yeah.
used.
Yeah.
Yeah, another thing that I would like to add on to that too is as far as salad dressings. People are so used to put oil into salad dressings. You can make it with lemon juice and balsamic vinegar, and it can, just depending on, you can have all kinds of different balsamic vinegars that are so healthy for you, and that's a really good way to go. And you don't need to put oil into salad dressings, which people are really accustomed to making that a habit of oil in their salad dressings.
Yeah. Well, if you do put oil, I mean, again, you can use olive oil or avocado oil. You don't need, you don't, soybean oil. It's all genetically modified. So anything with soybean oil is not good for you.
Yeah,
You,
so
you agree?
oil is fat. We need fat. Fat
Yeah,
is
yeah,
great. Oil
yeah.
is good for us, but we just have to be very careful of how what we eat and what we put in our mouth. And that goes with everything else that we put in our mouth. And another thing that I think we want to talk about is this what we put on our skin. Right,
Hmm.
what we put on our skin, that's another way that toxin get through inside the body is what we put on our skin. Think about women is more susceptible to toxins from the skin because we put on makeups and they just if you look at the ingredients, you turn around the products, like there's like 40, 50 ingredients, you don't know what they are, they're just chemicals. So
Mm.
be very careful, like your lotion, your shampoo, um, anything, even sunscreens, that's you have to be very careful what you put on. That's a source of toxin. And also in one of the ingredients of cosmetic is fragrance, perfume. Basically, you have no idea what they put in. So it's like to they said it's to protect the manufacturer of what their secret ingredient, but you don't really know what's in there. So it's if you don't, this is what I said. If you can't eat it, don't put it on your skin.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah.
good one. Yeah.
Yeah, I think to kind of sum up what we've just been talking about, anytime you can avoid any kind of a product or food or cosmetic that has a label with a bunch of chemicals, like you said, Isabel, that you don't know what they are. If you, it's to be a good idea to avoid them as much as possible and just
I was
avoid them.
wondering, keeping it simple, what
Yeah,
about sunscreen? What is the simplest thing to put on your to protect yourself from the sun?
yeah, zinc
So
oxide.
say that
Well,
again.
I was going to say zinc oxide, right?
Yes, yes,
Yeah, yeah,
titanium or zinc dioxide, or wear a
yeah,
hat, wear a long sleeve.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay,
But
we're
do get in the sun. The sun is super, it's
yeah.
super energizing and we need the sun. So don't avoid the sun, but you can always wear a hat, wear a long sleeve, go out early in the morning. And if you do have to, like Rico said, titanium, zinc dioxide, they're all really good.
Isabel, it's so good to hear you say that. But as you know, most Asian women they always they're always trying to avoid the sun. They're always wearing hats and they always stay out of the sun. But the sun is really good for you. Okay, we got to shift now. We're starting to run out of time. But we got to shift into now, Isabel. I want you to talk about how you help people cleanse and detoxify from all these toxins that they've already got in their system.
Yes, yes. So, yeah, so we talked about all these toxins that's environment in the environment. Basically, 24/7, we're bombarded with different toxins from the air, from the food, from the water. But there's a lot that you can do, and the organ that's most important for detoxification is your liver, right? So not there aren't a whole lot of programs out there that really just focus on the liver. That's why I love to do my liver cleanses with people. So I help people with liver cleanses. And so what I mean is that we talk about how to eliminate all these toxins that we just talked about it. And what happens with these toxins that is that with the liver has to do more work and it thickens up the bile that the liver produces to detoxify and also to digest fat. So what we do in the liver cleanse is actually to help you build up your detoxification capacity, right? To build up your detoxification capacity, there's no way that we can eliminate all these toxins in our environment, just kind of part of our life. But you want to make sure that your body is able, supported to detoxify. And our body does know how to detoxify. Otherwise, we wouldn't be alive today, right? So our body knows how to, but just it just needs some support. It just needs some support emotionally, physically. So that's what I do. I talk a lot about toxin and I help people to clear up their liver. And as a result, you see better energy, you see better skin, better digestion, and mood is better. So just it's like your liver can breathe and you can finally breathe again.
Well, let me ask you, Isabel, what I've always recommended, what I always think, for people who say, oh, I'm going to do a detox program and they want to go on some kind of a juice fast or a fast, and that can be dangerous if you have a whole lot of toxins in your body. So don't you have to, I think the first step you need to do cleanse your bowels, do a bowel
Yes,
cleanser,
you're exactly right. I'm so glad that you mentioned that. Yeah, because with the
and
juice cleanse, yeah, it does. It does cleansing you. It does clean you out. But think about it. If someone is constipated, like I have students that are constipated all the time, and what we focus on is first to open the exit, right? To have smooth bowel movement, so that when we support the liver to encourage and eliminate toxin, it has a place to go. It has a place to exit, so it doesn't recirculate. So not just support the colon, support the exit is super important. You have to support the nervous system as well. When your body is safe, it will repair and release. When it's not, when you're like on stress all the time, when you're on the go all the time, then it's that much harder for your body to relax and really do the healing, the repair work. So that's really important too. And juice cleanse, it sometimes will backfire. I've done it myself, and it'll backfire. People get headache, they're sluggish. And when you first detox, some people will have that response the first couple days, but it gets better. It gets better. You get more energy, and skin gets better. You see improvement. But if you're in that state, you're sluggish, headache, you have then you're going down the wrong direction. So be very careful while you're detoxing.
Yeah,
Right.
I have a question for you, Isabel. You know, on our health wellness revolution here, we like to get a little disruptive. We like to revolt a little bit about, because our healthcare system obviously is not doing the job for 90% of our, especially as we age. Our elders are not really being well taken care of because we're basically in a victim state. We're just listening to an authoritative figure that we think can help us, when we need to take 100% responsibility for our own health if we can cognitively think that way. And unfortunately, because of the toxicity, the medications, all those things that we're putting into our body over time, they are taking a toll on us in such a way that, so when you say food is the best medicine, and medicine has so many connotations for especially our elders who are, when you get your 70s, 80s, and 90 years old, you're on 5, 6, 10 medications. And that is the way of life for our healthcare system. What do you recommend as far as food going in? What is the best way for us to take care of our toxicity that goes into our body? I know one answer to that is don't put toxic things in your body.
Yes, don't put toxic things in your body. So um, I would say, really, is your emotional state. Do you feel confident? Right. So food is pretty much, we know what's good, right? Organic foods and anything that's organic, anything you're not allergic to, that's good. And there are different school of thought. Some school of thought says, well, eat animal meat because it's less allergic reaction. Some says plant based. So which way do you go? So it's trial and error. But the bottom line is anything that's natural, and how confident you are with your health. Right? We believe that you have the healing power. That's what our body do. That's what our body is built to do. It is built to heal. Have that confidence that the body is built to heal, and what we need is really good water, good food, sunshine, connection, and a purpose. I think that's what's really important.
Ooh, that's a good one. I love that
I,
purpose
I,
part.
I just wanted to add, you know, as we mentioned, we're all biochemically unique, and so what works well for one person, maybe one person can do well on a strictly plant-based diet, and other people can do much better when they add some healthy animal products as well. So, I highly recommend that you consult with someone, like Isabel, so she can help you determine what foods might be best for you. I think that's the best solution for everybody.
Yeah, and I just want to add that I do use supplements to support my students when they're in the cleanse. I use a lot of different supplements for people to support, but supplement is just one of the tools that you have. So there is no magic pill. Sorry to blow that. There is no magic pill. It's all these different tools, all these different lifestyles that you build, and the belief in yourself that is going to give you vibrant health.
You know,
And
you
yeah.
guys were just about out of time. You know, it just always goes by so fast. So, Isabel, I know you have a great a gift. Talk about the gift you have for our audience.
Yes, gift. It's a detox ebook. It's 10 habits. It's really easy. 10 habits that I do every single day that helps my body to detox, and also have a questionnaire to for you that you can see if your liver needs some support. And some of you may be familiar with coffee enema, and so I have instructions and talk about the benefit of coffee enema, and also a guide how you can do coffee enema on your own. So
Well, yeah,
yeah,
thank you so much for that. We'll definitely put that link where you can get that free book from me. And we really just ran out of time, John. So I don't think we have any time for anything else today. But I think this was really a important show because this is something that we really got to get that message to people that we got to get the toxins out of our body if we are going to create this American wellness revolution. So thank you, Isabel. Thank you, John, for being here.
thank you both.
Yeah, thank you very
Thank
much.
you very
And
much, Isabel. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
yeah. All right. So thanks for being here, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, we. Oh wait.